That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen.
Having a good time, yo. Your Usher made it in the video.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Listen to me. He got it worse than Usher. And Usher got it bad. Usher got it bad.
Ain't that the name of one of his songs? You got it. Oh no, that wasn't it. That ain't one of his
Yeah.
songs.
I mean, the simple fact that the herpes that he got sued for very publicly was given to him by that was mentoring him.
Usher Raymond is arguably one of the best R&B singers of our generation, and oh boy, didn't he just get his break as a kid. While most of y'all were still thinking of completing elementary school, Usher was already hanging out with industry bigwigs, all thanks to Diddy. But that introduction to the showbiz world wasn't the desired one for Ush, especially because he was still a kid. In a past interview, the mellow-voiced singer opened up and confessed that Diddy introduced him to funny, creepy, and mentally drowning sex parties. According to the singer, Puffy Camp was a setup filled with sexual behaviors, both for men and women, and he said that as a father, he wouldn't dare send his kid to such a place. So, what exactly happened to Usher as a young boy under the wings of Diddy? Let's find out. Usher and Diddy, two of your favorite musicians, have a shared past that would not be to your liking at all. How about this? Usher, then 14 years old, used to go to crazy parties with Diddy. Yep, you heard that right, 14. When Usher was first signed to Let Face Records as a young kid, he was handed Sean Combs, then known as Puff Daddy, as a mentor. At 14, Usher moved to New York to collaborate with Combs, also known as Diddy, but it wasn't all work. Supposedly, Diddy would let Usher attend his expensive parties to give the artist more of an edge. And reportedly, some other weird things happened. Usher Raymond was Sean Diddy Combs' young disciple, and we've all heard allegations about what transpired in his home. But those were just rumors, right? Hey, Runt, the two celebrities who spent a lot of time together back in the day never spoke to the media. Well, that is, up until around 2012. A few years ago, during a live video stream, Diddy accidentally disclosed he and Usher had shared a bed. But he swiftly sought to make up for it by saying, pause. And no homo, Diddy required a second chance. Usher looked all embarrassed at his side as the bad boy boss comically attempted to rebound from his pause with an even worse statement about wrestling. You know what? I'm saying this is my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes, because he used to always get up earlier than me, and now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And I love him, Diddy said. Usher was groomed from a young age to become an R&B icon. In a 2016 interview, he told Howard Stern that he fully understood what fame meant after spending a year with Puff Daddy when he was 14. I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it, Usher said during his first Stern Show interview. Usher's unusual education, known as Puffy Flavor Camp, came about as a result of the young Usher's ability to dazzle music mogul Ella Reid. He was then transported to New York to live with Puffy during the height of Bad Boy Records to learn what it was like to truly succeed in the music industry. It was pretty wild. It was crazy, Usher said while rattling off some of the biggest names in hip-hop who were a constant presence at Puffy's house, including Notorious B.I.G., Lil' Kim, Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, and Craig Mack. I was like the little brother, they called me Baby Boo, Usher said. But Howard wondered if he was given any rules while living with Puffy. After all, he was just a kid. He wasn't disciplinary. He was letting me be a young man, Usher told Howard. Although he wasn't in school, he had a tutor. Usher claimed that although he was given just enough money to keep him out of too much trouble, he also received a per diem. Puff Daddy served as Usher's producer when it came time to release his debut album. However, Puffy declined to be a part of Usher's second album, My Way, which went 6x platinum in the late 1990s, because the debut didn't perform as well commercially as anticipated. He was always a family member from afar, so I never felt a disconnection, Usher said of Diddy when asked if there was any bad blood between the two. I will always look at him like a brother. Yet the renowned R&B singer refrained from disclosing some damaging details regarding his time spent in Diddy's home. Diddy unintentionally disclosed that he and Usher used to get up at the same time. Because of the constant sexual orientation speculations, internet users assumed that Diddy may have molested Usher. That assertion was supported by accusations that, at one point, surrounded the music boss. Usher may have been one of Diddy Combs' victims, according to a document posted on the Smoking Gun website, which stated the U.S. federal authorities were looking into him for allegedly having sex with underage boys in the past. James Rosemond, a music manager and cocaine trafficker who was charged, was questioned about the matter. This wasn't a little marijuana transaction. Roseman sold copious amounts of the deadly drug cocaine in America and used some of the money to support his record label. Diddy and Roseman collaborated on several occasions. Roseman was questioned by federal authorities over Diddy's having sexual encounters with young males. Then it was discovered that Usher, who was then 15 years old, and Diddy shared a bed while they were both in their late 20s. Usher also admitted that when he was 15 years old, he and Diddy would go to sexual orgies, which is against the law in the US and most other countries with laws governing minors. Roseman, who faces life in jail for drug trafficking and has been accused of being involved in murders because of statements he has made in the past, declined to respond to the government's inquiries about Diddy. Also, Diddy has come under fire for allegedly forcing 1990s R&B artist and actor Christopher Williams to engage in oral sex with him in exchange for a failed music production deal. Williams had a record deal with the late Andre Harrell's Uptown Records, which Diddy had previously worked with before starting his own label, Bad Boy. The music producer allegedly lost his cool when a former employee walked in on Christopher Williams and Diddy having sex in his office. Williams, who was dating Stacey Dash, suffered the loss of his life when a bulked-up Madonna started following him around the business. Williams was unwisely having sex with 5 women at once while Madonna was getting him involved in orgies, which are mentally, spiritually, and emotionally damaging. After being exposed to Madonna's lunacy, filth, and old-world occult decadence, every man she sought in the industry and associated herself with suffered from the mental and emotional trauma that made it difficult for them to operate. Diddy performed extremely dubious things to get wealthy and well-known, including having sex with children and joining occult pacts. Since then, his circle has been plagued by nothing but death, destruction, and catastrophe. The two parted ways after spending a few years in Diddy's home and releasing the first album, with Diddy choosing not to continue mentoring the yet hitmaker. But I'm not saying Puff was wrong. That first album wasn't my most successful, but it launched the career I've enjoyed for 18 years since. It's helped me understand the importance of having a mentor when I'm working with Justin. You have to make music relevant for now. Alla Reed, the CEO of Left Face Records, revealed that Diddy persuaded him to keep the young Usher on the roster when he had considered letting the star go. He said, "I wanted to drop him. I wanted to be out of business with him. I broke his heart. I broke his mother's heart. It was a very tough period in both our lives." He added, "Then someone said to me, 'Don't be a fool. Don't sell your stock in Usher. He's still going to be a star. He's everything you thought he was the day you signed him.' And that person was Diddy." Michael Jackson played a crucial role in Usher's artistic growth. Usher acknowledged that singing Larry Grossman and Buzz Cohen's Gone Too Soon during the King of Pop's memorial service after the latter's untimely passing in 2009 was among his most conflicted moments. He stated, "That was the hardest yet most gratifying moment of my career. The song summed up what people were feeling, as nobody believed Michael had passed. He was such an iconic figure, icons like him live forever." 9 of Usher's songs have reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 so far in his career. Usher became only the 3rd artist in history to have 3 singles simultaneously on the Hot 100 with the release of his 4th album, Confessions. He won the Grammy Award for Best Contemporary R&B Album thanks to the album's 1.1 million US sales in its first week, which marked a significant milestone in his career. In the United States, Confessions rose to become the 2nd best-selling album of the 2000 decade. The RIA awarded it a diamond certification, and it went on to sell 20 million copies globally. Usher is the prince of R&B thanks to his accomplishments, which include more than 50 appearances on the Billboard Top 100. Diddy recently started a discussion that confused Usher. R&B is dead, according to Diddy, who stated this in a recent Instagram Live. Usher laughed off the idea that the genre was anything less than vibrant and active during an appearance with the Sirius XM program.
When I hear people say stuff like, what happened to R&B or R&B is dead, it's not. You just don't understand the basis of it. As a matter of fact, maybe I need a reminder and understanding of what it is. How can something come out 20 some odd years ago and then all of a sudden have a resurgence in a way that people just want to talk about it, enjoy it? It's because it's classic. That's superstar. That's R&B. That's what R&B is. R&B is timeless. It ain't gonna go away.
When I do hear people, even like Puff, saying, R&B is dead, he sounds nuts to me. He said, it sounds crazy, especially knowing he was a pioneer in understanding and beneficiary of it. He continued, the source that is R&B created the breath of life that was breathed into hip-hop. At Wood and Bass, there would be no hip-hop if there were not R&B, so it's blasphemous to hear people say anything, especially hip-hop cats, to say anything about R&B. So, did the two finally come face to face with their nasty past? Your hunch is just as valid as mine. That's all we have for now. Until next time, bye.